Well, week 6 of college football has officially ended, and in this video, I'm just going to do a quick recap of all the games and things that happened. First game I'll talk about is my Alabama Crimson Tide. What can I say? Struggle win. We won 24-20 to Texas A&M. My opinion, we made this game a whole lot harder than it should have been. We all know Bryce Young sat out this game. We started Jalen Miro, and I still had high hopes for Jalen Miro, but in this game, it didn't help. The situation, him fumbling twice and throwing an interception. Basically, that's the only reason why Texas A&M was in this game in the beginning. Our defense was stifling. We was able to hold them, out the end zone for the most part, especially when they started on their own side of the field. But costly turnovers shortened the field for them, and they capitalized on each turnover. So of course Alabama had a couple of penalties in the game. Still some things we need to work on. Offensive line continues to get better. I feel like they can get better than what they are now currently, but O-line is doing a much better job than they've been doing the last couple of seasons, and especially last year. So it's good news to see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just click on game total team stats for the game. Like I said, yeah, Alabama was able to get 288 rushing yards. So like I said, pretty good game. I was able to get only 111 passing. So like I said, Jalen Miro definitely has to work on, passing down the field. Part of me, of course, he fumbled and had turnovers, but another part of me feels like, Bill O'Brien's play calling. It almost feels like, Jalen Miro was playing, Bryce Young's game plan. Bill O'Brien to me is not, creative at all. Build a game plan around Jalen Miro. He's in the game, that fit his, play set. I don't know what it is. It's just we lack creativity on offense with Bill O'Brien, and I think that was part of the reason too. And then of course, I feel like wide receivers are not getting separation. So hopefully we'll have somebody step up, man. Hats off to Texas A&M. They played us tough. We all knew they had a good defense going into this game. It's just their offense, has sputtered. But Alabama got the victory, and it's going to be interesting this Saturday, guys. We got to play Tennessee, and Tennessee looks very, very good right now. So we're going to have to see how that game going to be Saturday. That's going to be must-watch TV right there. But we'll move on to the next games. Let's see who else played. Of course, Georgia started off slow, slow starting game at first, but Georgia got the victory 42-10. They completely did what they're supposed to do against Auburn. I don't know the status of Brian Harsin right now at Auburn. I don't know if they're on their way to fire him or not, but Auburn doesn't have any, they're pretty bad on offense. I'm going to just call it like how it is. They're pretty bad on offense. Robert Ashford they was playing on the road at Athens and just had a lot of mistakes in the game, and can't do that against a good Georgia team. Georgia got a good defense. The offense came on late in the game. Lat McConkey played better in this game, and of course they got a beast over there in Brock Bowers. Georgia's trying to establish their run game. It looked pretty good in the game, and for the most part, the only thing that I noticed about Georgia, Stetson Bennett, it seems like he can't pass the ball downfield this year for some reason. I don't know what it is. He does it in spots, but he's not consistent with it. That's something Georgia's definitely going to have to work on. And I think he failed again to pass it for a touchdown in this game. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the chemistry. I don't know what it is. This a guy that won it all last year. Granted, he had a great defense on his side, but definitely have some concerns if you're a Georgia fan, being able to pass the ball downfield. I know they got some guys that's hurt, and hopefully they can get those guys back. But, Georgia nevertheless did what they're supposed to do, got a big victory over Auburn. Next game, Ohio State, Michigan State. Uh, Ohio State, to me, in my opinion, is the most consistent team so far this season. Uh, they had a rough, start against Notre Dame, and it was a low scoring, but they look like they're peaking, guys. They're playing very well on defense, holding Michigan State to 20 points. I don't care who the opponent is. If you hold anybody to 20 points, that's very good. And C.J. Stroud just continues to look good. Definitely one of the Heisman uh, finalists. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there in the end. So another good game for Ohio State. Another team, Michigan. Michigan Indiana was fighting with them at first, but of course Michigan came out on top, 31-10. Like I said, on top 4 teams, for the most part, I think it's going to be them 4 in the end. I'm not sure. Maybe another team will creep in there. Of course, you're going to have, Ohio State and Michigan go against each other in the end of the year. And, of course, Alabama and maybe Georgia in the end. We don't know. The SEC is a hard conference to get out of. And if Georgia got to play Tennessee this year. So Tennessee's looking really, really good. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the SEC. But as far as Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan, that's going to be a fun matchup too. And hopefully, both of those teams will be undefeated by the time they play each other. So next team, Clemson beat Boston College 31-3. Clemson is silently looking pretty good, guys. They're doing really, really good. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They had a rocky start with DJ Ugalele, but now, he's doing better. Let me look at his stats for this game. I was watching the game, but I didn't, I was doing other things. But let me look at his stats for the game. DJ Ugalele, yeah, he had 32 attempts with 18 completions for 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, he threw for 3 touchdowns. They was only able to get 1 rushing touchdown, and that was by Will Shipley. He had 10 attempts for 33 yards. So DJ Ugalele, he was the leading rusher. He had 12 attempts for 69 yards. So Clemson is slowly, getting better, guys, and definitely a team to look out at. The number 5 position, ranked as far as college football is concerned. So Clemson, another team to watch. Southern Cal, they beat Washington State 30-14. Another team to look out for. USC, I don't know what to think. As of right now, I'm really looking at UCLA. Like UCLA, I think they got the win over. Yeah, they beat Utah, a really good Utah team. They beat them 42-32. So UCLA might be the team in the Pac-12. I'm not sure. USC is talented too, so I'm not sure who's going to come out on top in the big Pac-12. I'm sorry, but that's going to be interesting to see what happens in the Pac-12. Another game, Oklahoma State versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech was struggling with Texas Tech. I think at one point Texas Tech was in the lead, but Oklahoma State continues to get victories, guys. They're ranked number 7, and between them and I think TCU and Kansas State, it's a three-way race in the Big 12. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out in the Big 12. Of course, Tennessee beat LSU 40-13. Tennessee, like I said, is looking really, really good. Now, I know LSU is kind of struggling this year, offensively. They got a pretty good defense, and Tennessee completely shredded them, guys. Let me look at the stats for the game. I know I did a video on it, but I just want to recap what they did. Yeah, Tennessee was able to get 502 total yards offense. They had 239 passing, and they had 263 rushing. Tennessee is legit, guys. We're definitely going to have to see what they do. They got a big test against Alabama this Saturday, and Alabama has to travel to Neyland Stadium, and I know it's going to be rocking and Rocky Top. So I would be lying to you if I ain't say I was nervous about this game, but Tennessee looks the part, guys. They did really, really good. LSU was only able to get 55 yards rushing on the ground, so Tennessee stifled the run. LSU was able to get 300 yards passing, but Jaden Daniels has struggled, at being an accurate passer. He's majority of time he's just running the ball. So Tennessee did what they had to do. Got a huge victory on the road at LSU. LSU is a hard place to play. I know they played during the day. I know LSU fans probably rather play that game at night, but Tennessee, for what they did, still go over there and do what they did. That's big for Tennessee. Josh Heupel's doing a heck of a job with the team, and definitely going to be a team to look out for, most definitely this season. Ole Miss at Vanderbilt. Ain't gonna lie, guys. Vanderbilt was beating Ole Miss at one point. Vanderbilt actually held in there. Ole Miss got the victory, 52-28, and they pulled it out. But they were struggling with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is definitely a team that has improved with the new head coach, and I think Ole Miss was kind of sleepwalking a little bit at first, but yeah, Vandy came with it. But Ole Miss got the victory and everything, so that was interesting to see. Like I said, UCLA beat Utah 42-32. Good game. UCLA is a good team. Oregon beat Arizona, 49-22. They continue to look good, even after, getting beat by Georgia early on in the season. So that bodes well for Georgia's, strength of schedule, So South Carolina beat Kentucky, guys. I didn't watch the whole game. I just was looking at a little bit. Yes, South Carolina got a huge victory over 13th ranked Kentucky. I don't know what they're ranked now. They're probably not ranked, but Kentucky was a pretty good team, guys. And Spencer Rattler, I guess Spencer Rattler played. Let me see. Yeah, Spencer Rattler had 177 yards and a touchdown. Marshawn Lloyd went off. He had 22 attempts for 110 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, South Carolina got a huge victory over ranked Kentucky. Huge for the South Carolina Gamecocks program. Who else played? North Carolina State beat Florida State 19-17, low-scoring game. Like I said, Florida State lost to Wake Forest, and great offensive team in Wake Forest, and North Carolina State has a really, really good defense. They held Florida State 17 points, and let me see the stats on this game. Yeah, Devin Leary, he only had 130 yards and a touchdown, but Jordan Hudson, Houston, he had 24 attempts for 90 yards, and they didn't record a rushing touchdown. I think he just had that one passing touchdown to Darryl Jones. He had 2 receptions for 19 yards and a touchdown. So defensive slugfest. North Carolina State held Florida State scoreless in the first quarter, the third, and the fourth quarter. So, like I said, one of the best defenses in the ACC, and North Carolina State is now 5-1, and Florida State is 4-2. So, huge win for North Carolina State. And no down the line, Florida State got to play Clemson, so it's going to be an interesting matchup going forward. Clemson already beat North Carolina State, so pretty good game. Who else played? TCU and Kansas. Kansas played really, really well, guys. TCU got the victory 38-31, so but Kansas did pretty good. I think it was on College Game Day. The crew was there in Kansas, so a lot of hype. Can't help but feel good for Kansas. The state of Kansas is doing really, really well. Kansas State, like I said, got a huge victory over Oklahoma early in the season, so a couple games back. So, but Kansas did pretty good, guys. Looking at the stats, look at the total team stats. Yeah, Kansas, they was able to get 540 total yards of offense. They was hanging in there with TCU. TCU was only able to get 452. TCU got 308 passing yards and was able to get 144 rushing yards. Kansas was able to get 351 passing yards and 189. So Kansas came with it, guys. Team can't help but feel good, about teams like that coming up. Since like the Big 12 was flipped upside down, and Yeah, they lost 31-38, but they was in the game, guys. That was a good matchup. Let's see other teams that played. Like I said, Kansas State. Wow, that's low scoring. Kansas State beat Iowa State 10-9. You want to talk about low scoring, boy? I don't know what happened there, but Kansas State, like I said, between Kansas State, TCU, and Oklahoma State, and even though Texas got 2 losses, um, one of their losses was out of conference, but they can still, win their conference, just one loss. So they have to still play Kansas State and TCU and all that. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they played all those teams yet. So, but it's gonna be I think a 4-man race in the Big 12 and see who comes out on top. Arizona State beat Washington. 45-38. Like I said, this year college football, you don't know what's gonna happen, man. It's just everybody's playing everybody really really good. Mississippi State beat Arkansas 40-17, completely destroyed Arkansas. Um, Mississippi State is another team we have on our schedule that's looking really, really good. They just beat Texas A&M, I think 42-24. So another team on our schedule that we're gonna have to look out for. And I think, yeah, after Tennessee, we play them. So of course we got that game at home, but still, Mike Leach is doing a heck of a job with Mississippi State. Arkansas, I feel bad for Arkansas and Sam Pittman. He's a very good guy. He's going to get them back on track. They took that loss to Texas A&M. A game they should have won, in my opinion. And then, of course, the quarterback was out this game, KJ Jefferson, so he didn't play. They played, I forgot his name, Hornsby, I think. Yeah, Hornsby. He had 17 attempts for 8 completions for 234 yards and a touchdown. Dual threat. He's a guy that can take off. He's very, very elusive, guys, and fast. So he was their leading rusher. He had 8 attempts for 114 yards. And then, of course, Rocky Sanders had 20 attempts for 86 yards and touchdown. So, yeah, I feel bad. I can't help but feel bad for Arkansas. Definitely a team to look out for in the future. I mean, very improved team. Like I said, took that tough loss to Texas A&M, and they're definitely gonna be a team. I'm be interested to see what they do for the rest of the season. They're currently 3-3, and they still got to play. I think LSU and Auburn and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they bounce back. But nevertheless, Mississippi State is looking real good. They're 5-1 right now. Their only loss was to LSU. So like I said, the SEC just everybody beats up on each other. So who else played? Cincinnati beat South Florida 28-24. Florida beat Missouri 24-17. Missouri played Georgia pretty well, and they played Florida pretty well. Pretty much the identical same result. Florida was able to hold them to 17. They scored 22 on Georgia, but the score is basically the same. I think Georgia won 26-22. Florida beat Missouri 24-17. So same identical game. It's gonna be interesting to see what Florida does, with Georgia. Like I said, the SEC is just at this point everybody beating up on each other. Purdue beat Maryland. Purdue, pretty decent team. Maryland, those are a game of 2 teams that's pretty decent. Next game, Texas versus Oklahoma. I feel bad for Oklahoma fans. I really thought they was going to put up more of a better shot than that. I know there's they had, I think, didn't play the game? Let me check. Did Dylan Gabriel play the game? Let me see. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel. He didn't play. They went with Davis Baville. He only got 38 yards passing, guys. So yeah. Oklahoma wasn't able to do anything. Jalil Farouk was the leading rusher. He had 5 attempts for 60 yards. Eric Gray only had 59 yards. Like I said, they just completely just got destroyed, guys. I've never seen that in a Red River rivalry ever. Just a complete shutout. Texas A&M. I mean, not Texas A&M. I'm sorry, Texas fan. Texas just completely shut them down, and you hate to see that. Especially in a rivalry game. I don't know what Brent Venables has to do to get this team on, back on track. I wonder if Oklahoma fans are, nervous. Are they nervous about the program going forward? He was doing very, very good in recruiting, so hopefully, he can get some help in there. And I wouldn't bail out on him just yet, guys, but it's kind of hard to, feel optimistic about your team when you can't put up a better effort than, you know, basically getting a goose egg against your rival. And I know I would feel some type of way if we lose to Auburn like that. And we lost to Auburn a couple of times, and you just hate to see that as an Oklahoma fan and just a fan in general. I really thought Oklahoma was going to put up some points in this game, but definitely have some problems that they got to fix going forward. Who else won? Louisville won 34-17 against Virginia. Who else played? Wisconsin beat Northwestern. Northwestern is not a really good team right now. Wisconsin beat them 42-7. I think Wisconsin is at the bottom of the Big Ten West, if I'm not mistaken. So, two teams that, kind of struggle, but Wisconsin got a huge victory there. Pitt beat Virginia Tech 45-29. Pittsburgh lost to Tennessee early on in the season, but they played Tennessee pretty well. Out of all the people, I think they was the only team so far that's played Tennessee, made it a game with Tennessee. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the ACC as far as the Coastal Division is concerned. I'm not sure who's leading in that conference right now. Miami, I know they didn't look good. Yeah, Miami lost to North Carolina 27-24. I don't know what's going on with Miami. Cristobal, I guess you got to give these new head coaches time, at least give them 2 more years to get the program back on track, So Georgia Tech beat Duke 23-30. 23-20. Who else played? There was another game. Yeah, for the most part, that's all the games, guys. Oregon State beat Stanford 28-27. So that's pretty much it, guys. For the week 6 of the college football season. If you haven't, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel. It helps me grow as a content creator. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.